What's up, my friends? We're at Home Depot now. This is a follow-up video from when we talked about dishwashers and fridges and laundry. So now we're going to talk about cooking. Yes, I can cook. So let's take a look at some stoves and we'll talk through them.
Let's start with stoves.
Alright, so let's take a look at this one. This is a gas stove. I always liked cooking with gas. Pretty easy to clean and everything. You've got your knobs down here, so these are really tactile. Good for me. This stove would definitely work for me. And then if you, over the top, you've got actual tactile buttons. So this is not a touch screen, so this would definitely be really good. You might have to mark it a little bit, but definitely good. Even has a little griddle on it for everything. So I really like this stove. This would definitely work for me without a whole lot of modification. Talk about flat stoves. So this stove is really flat. It doesn't have a lot of markers on it. And we can do a follow-up with the one we have at our house, but you can't really feel where to place your pot. So this one, you're gonna have to feel the heat to place your pot center. Your knobs are in the back. Again, they're tactile, and I can actually feel buttons. So with the right rehab training, this stove could actually work for you, but just remember there's no tactile feeling of where to place your pot. There have been ways that people do it. They'll put electrical tape on it to kind of label it and where to put it. So it would take some effort to make it accessible, but you know, this is a pretty good option. But if you don't like the flat surface, you need more tactile, you might want to go with coils, which I'll show you in a second.
Papa Frog, let's show them a pizza oven.
Now, we really wanted to show you this one because Sister Frog and Brother Frog love Bluey, and there's an episode about a pizza oven where they go to Hammer Barn. But this one really is not really tactual. I would probably have to mark that one pretty good. And then there is the flat surface. Again, no actual feeling on top. But again, a lot of marking you'd have to do on this one. And so this stove is kind of our basic coil stove, usually the cheapest on the market, but these really work well for the visually impaired. You know, you can feel the knobs turning, there's clicks for high, and then as you go down to the coils, you can actually feel where you'd want to place your pot and everything. So if budget's tight, go with the coils. Super easy, super accessible.
Let's move on to microwaves.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to microwaves. Now, microwaves have gotten pretty sophisticated, and I can show you what we did at ours at the house, but a lot of these are now touch. Now, these have actual physical things you can feel. You might still need to mark it because they're not physical buttons. It's a touch screen, so that could be kind of challenging. But again, if you have a good rehab teacher, they can mark it up for you. This one, probably wouldn't work well for me. I'd probably wind up just feeling all over the place and touching a bunch of buttons. Let's look at the next one. All right, moving on to the next one. This one is straight up touchscreen. This is where you'd have to put some bump dots to kind of feel over as you were doing it. For me, this microwave would definitely not work for me because it's just a straight up touchscreen, no physical tangible buttons. But again, you can always make it work with the right modifications. It just kind of depends on how far you want to go with that. Let's look at the next one. Now, I really like this one. This might be one I would go with because you can actually feel the indentations of the button. You might have to take a bump dot and mark the number 5 or maybe start and go that way. But this one would definitely work with the actual tactual buttons that you can feel. But again, get out there, figure out what works best for you. And going to the store and really looking at everything and touching the knobs and opening it up, that's what's gonna tell you really if it's gonna work well for you instead of just buying whatever. Well, thanks for tuning in to this adventure at Home Depot, looking at stoves and microwaves. Again, get out there, figure out what appliance works best for you, and then maybe get a good rehab teacher to help you out, a friend, a family member, mark it up how you need, and I'll show you what we got at home and how we did it with our stove and microwave. Until next time, like, subscribe, we'll see you later.
Oops, wrong one. Much better.